Good morning, first grade friends. Welcome back to the Phonics classroom. This morning, we're gonna be learning more about reading those big 2 or 3 syllable words. It's gonna be a very fun lesson, so let's jump right in with practicing some letter sounds. For number 1, I want you to write the letter or letters that makes the J sound. J. Yes, letter J. For number 2, write the letter that makes the X sound. X. Yes, letter X. For number 3, write the letter that makes the Y sound. Y. Letter Y. For number 4, my letter sound is I. I. Letter I. For number 5, my letter sound is B. B. Yes, letter B. For number 6, my letter sound is A. A. Letter A. For number 7, my letter sound is Yes, letter R. For number 8, my letter sound is Letter M. For number 9, my letter sound is Yes, letter H. And for number 10, my letter sound is sh. Sh. The digraph S-H. Excellent. For number 11, we're going to spell the word how. How. This word uses that O-W diphthong we learned this week. I hear the ow sound at the end of the word, so I know that I'm using O-W instead of O-U. Ow. How. For number 12, we are going to spell the word round. Round. This word has the ow sound in the middle of the word. So I'm writing ow, using the O-U diphthong, round, to spell the word round. Excellent job! All right, my friends, so I have written 2 large words up here on the board. Do you guys remember the very first thing that we do when we see a big word? Yes, we look for those obvious codings, those things like final stable syllables, suffixes, K-backs, digraphs, all the things that we can see just by looking at a word. So let's look at our first word. Do you guys see any obvious codings that we need to do for this word? The only thing that I see is we need a K-back on our C because it's making the K sound. Let's look at our other word. Do you see any obvious codings we need to do to this word? No, there's nothing in this word that we can code right now. So let's come back to our first word and do our next step. Do you guys remember what the next thing we need to do is when we're looking at a large word? Yes, we need to find our vowels. We need to find out if there's more than one vowel in this word. So in this word, I see letter I, which is a vowel, and I see letter E, which is a vowel. Now the next thing I do is label the letters in between my vowels to see if we can spot the spelling pattern. So I have letter N, which is a consonant, letter S, which is a consonant, and letter P, which is a consonant. So right now, when I look at this word, I see a pattern. I see V, C, 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 V. That is a pattern I've never seen before. We've learned 2 different patterns this year. We've learned VCCCV and VCV, but never VCCCV. So this is going to be a new one for us. All right, so when we have 3 consonants between our vowels, it can be very hard to know where to draw our line. Because when we have just 2 consonants, we know that we draw it between those 2 consonants. But when there's 3, we don't know which 2 consonants to draw our line between. So the way that we figure it out is by looking for digraphs or blends. Do we see any digraphs in these three consonants? No, I don't see any. What about blends? Do you see any blends in these three consonants? Yes, we have the sp blend. So that helps us know where to draw our line. We don't want to separate those two letters that make a blend, so we must draw our line before the blend, after the first consonant. But it won't be like that every time. If our blend came first, then we would have to draw our line after the blend because we can't separate those two letters. So now that we've drawn our division line, we can code the vowels in the two syllables. So our first syllable, we have letter I. Does it have a consonant after it? Yes, it does. So it is short. In our second syllable, we have letter E. Does it have a consonant after it? Yes, so it is also short. Let's read this word together. Inspect. 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 Excellent. Let's do the same thing with our second word. In this word, we haven't found any obvious coding, so we can go ahead and find our vowels and label them. So the first vowel that I see is letter U. So I'm going to put a V under letter U. Then I see letter I. So I'm going to put a V under letter I. My next thing I need to do is label the consonants in between my two vowels. So I have letter M, which is a consonant, letter P, which is a consonant, and letter K, which is a consonant. So again, we have a V, C, 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 V pattern. So look in this word. Of our three consonants, do we have any blends or digraphs? No, we do not. So that makes it a little bit harder for us to know where our line goes. In this word, we had an obvious blend that we did not want to separate, so we knew where to put our line. But in this word, there is no obvious blend. So what we're going to do is put our line in two different places and see which one sounds right to us. So let's try first by putting our line between the first two consonants. Let's go ahead and label our vowels, short or long, and then we'll read the word and see if this sounds right with our line right here. So my first vowel, letter U, does it have a consonant after it? Yes, so it is short. And my second vowel, letter I, does it have a consonant after it? Yes, so it is also short. Let's read the first syllable in this word. Pum. In the second syllable, we have in, pekin, pumpkin. That sounds a little bit hard to read. So I think that we should move our line and see if it's a little bit easier to figure out this word. So I'm going to move my line to between the second two consonants. Let's try reading it now. Pump, in, kin, pumpkin. Pumpkin. So that must be where our line goes. It's much easier for us to read this word when our division line is in the correct place. All right, friends, let's look at this word we have up here. First thing we need to do is look for those obvious codings. Do you see any obvious things we need to code? Yes, we have a digraph right here, the digraph. So I'm going to underline that like I do all of my digraphs, and then I'm going to keep looking. Do you see any other obvious codings? Yes, this word has a sneaky E on the end, and that E is making this E say its name. So we're going to cross out our silent E and put the long symbol over the E that it's talking to. So now we have done our obvious codings. It's time to look for our vowels. So letter A is a vowel and letter E is a vowel. Now we can label the letters in between. So we have letter T, which is a consonant, letter H, which is a consonant, and letter L, which is a consonant. So again, we have the V, C, 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 V spelling pattern. So we have to decide, where does our line go? Well, one thing that I've noticed is that we have a digraph here. How many sounds does a digraph make? One. You're right. The TH digraph makes one th sound. So there's no need for us to put two consonants there. We're only going to put one C under both of our digraph letters because they only make one sound. So I'm going to erase my two C's, and I'm going to replace it with one C. Do you guys see now where we need to put our line? Yes, between our two consonants. That would be after the digraph and before the consonant L. And the last thing we need to do is label our vowels as short or long. We already labeled this vowel because we had our sneaky E. So let's label our first vowel. Is letter A short or long? Yes, it is short because there's a consonant after it. Let's read this word. Leet. Athlete. Athlete. Excellent job, friends. Let's jump back into our worksheet. All right, friends, picking up with number 13, we're going to spell some words. So for number 13, we're going to spell the word pumpkin. Pumpkin. This word can be divided into two syllables. Pump-kin. So let's write pump first. Pump. Now we're writing kin. In. Pumpkin. For number 14, we're going to spell the word partner. Partner. This word also has two syllables. Partner. So let's start by writing part. R. A-R makes the R sound. Part. Now we can write ner. N-er. So I'm writing n-er. And I know that E-R makes the sound. For number 15, we're going to spell the word subtract. Subtract. Hopefully you guys have been doing lots of this in your math lessons. Subtract. So I'm going to start by writing sub. Sub. Now I'm writing tract. Tract. Subtract. Excellent job, friends. I want you guys to work on labeling your consonants and vowels, drawing that division line, and I can't wait to see all of your great work. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another fabulous phonics lesson. Bye, friends.